think it was my first week here at MEMIC, Tony looked at me and he said, "You're going to go to ICL." And I said, "What's that?" And he took me and he's like, "You're going to love it. You know, you're going to go camping. You'll probably be thrown from a tree or something, but you'll love it, you know?" And I was like, "What? What are you talking about?"
The ICL really has informed what I've been able to accomplish in the community to be what I, again, think is the greatest organizational development program in the entire state. The thing I love about the intensive was the outward bound experience. So we had to hike mountains together. We had to do, problem solving. We had to actually, at the time, the program today, I think, is a ropes course. We actually scaled the face of a cliff, which was really interesting with ropes and belaying. And, one of the parts that I remember the best was we had a state legislator in our group, a Democrat, and I was known as an active Republican at the time. And I'm up the face of the cliff, and she's on belay down below, and she says, "Tony, who's your favorite Democrat?" I said, "Oh yeah, no, it's you." The biggest lesson, and I tell everybody, is you really need to look around to see who's missing in the conversations that are important to getting to a solution. In fact, with diversity, equity, and inclusion, these are all the lessons that we today are learning that were already part of the program back in 1994 and 95. And what we've done here at MEMIC as a great example is we've decided that because Maine's greatest existential threat is our age demographics, we're trying very hard to make sure that we're reaching out and engaging those in the nonprofit sector, particularly who are serving new Americans, veterans, LGBTQ+, and all the other marginalized groups that are ready and willing to be in the workforce. Here, for the older generation, you need to be able to listen and adapt and draw from your younger work colleagues. And young work colleagues, you need to ask good questions of people who have enormous experience.
And I remember going into one Christmas, we met for breakfast, and he brought me this little penguin figurine that he makes out of clay. And I think it's just a hobby, something that he enjoys doing. And he has a bunch of them. I think he gives them to people over the years. And I have one. It's now moved with me 3 or 4 times. So I love my penguin. I think, what would Tony do? What would Tony say? Because there are a few times, I will say, being in Tony's orbit, and he's been on the board of Live and Work in Maine since I joined. And he and MEMIC were one of the first groups that really leaned in to Live and Work in Maine. They signed on as an employer partner, as an advisory board member, and donated money so that we could get off the ground. And Tony in those meetings is always the one to just make sure that, are we being inclusive? Are we thinking through who's not at the table? That we need to make sure that that voice is heard.
Tony's legacy at ICL lives on every year. Not a lot of people probably know this, but Tony is the one who developed the plaque that every ICL student recognizes, of course, because at the end of the program, they're awarded this beautiful carabiner in lucite. If you bring the appropriate people together in constructive ways with good information, they will create authentic visions and sustainable responses to issues and opportunities within their communities and organizations. And he lives it every day.